Okay, I was pretty certain, and now I am. All right. Liberalism, liberal, leftist, is just feminine. And conservatists and conservatism is masculine. All right. What's happened is the political divide is just the gender divide. Right? It's the gender divide abstracted out into the political arena. Okay, you got the soy boy men with the feminines, and to me, this is the easiest way to recognize a man who isn't really conservative. Because to be really conservative at this fucking point, as Jordan Peterson says, if you try to equalize the playing field, you just maximize the differences, right? This is why you get red pilled. This is why you get these kind of radical dudes. Okay, the kill Charlie Kirk, who was your mainstream dude. He was a good boy, Christian boy. Honestly, to me, he was really fucking boring. But he was a great man. Great man. The only thing I had to critique him about, and this is a big problem on the right, especially with general, good, Christian, regular, everyday, average men on the right, the biggest problem is that a lot of them don't critique women. They don't criticize women. And I'm guessing it's because they're afraid of not getting any play by their wives, or they don't want to, I guess, offend their daughters or whoever the hell else, whatever other Karens are in their life whatsoever. The problem with that, to me, the problem with that is that you let women get away with whatever the fuck they want. And now you're leaving it up to red pill dudes and these so-called misogynists and radicals, apparently like me, who are uninvited from the community now. And that is a huge problem because women are now part of the propaganda machine, the political machine. They are part of it now, and it's not going anywhere unless you repeal the 19th Amendment. Which woman, most modern woman, which is a large majority of them. Okay, like this is something a lot of fucking guys, especially like the older type guys, don't fucking understand. There are a lot of college educated women out here who will never want that, who think you are trying to oppress them. Any critique about them. These are the women who voted for Kamala. There is way more than you think. Have you ever actually had an argument with a woman? Half my Facebook friends are college people from Wilmington, and half of them have unfriended me now. You can guess why. You can guess why. You can guess what side of you can guess what side they were on the news of Charlie. You can guess which side they were on. Pretty fucking easy which side they were on. And yeah, a lot of them were minorities. Okay? So you have a problem that mainstream guys are too pussy to talk about. And women, for the most part, if they're conservative, they're not out there fucking, galvanizing activism. They're not out there fucking, debating their hearts out. They're with their conservative partner. They like being submissive. They like being wives. They like being mothers and not all that shit. They like doing that shit. Okay. These women don't. And they're the majority of them. And you're not fucking critiquing them. To me, the obvious example of this is like Jordan Peterson mentioned it in this way. right? Women's virtues work in the micro, in the immediate communal environment, but they get fucked and twisted when they're abstracted and externalized to the macro, especially politically. This is basically globalism to me is a feminine philosophy. It's a feminine. It has this communal unison, like kumbaya utopian vision to it. That's feminine. Fuck, men do not fucking believe in that. Real men know that like danger is fucking everywhere, bro. Right? Like the fact that most men in the West don't just get into a random fist fight every time they see each other is a bloody miracle of God, of the city of God in Augustine's vision in that way. It's because men are embodying that. But that is not the natural state of affairs by any means possible. I digress too much. You have a whole political machine that is now basically just women. And now you have a whole side of men who are nuanced as fuck, disagreeing on a bunch of shit. But one of the most unanimous things among these Christian types that I've seen in my experience, and unfortunately it's only the red pill dudes and radical and misogynistic, dangerous guys who are willing to criticize women, we'll keep fucking losing if this is the case. You ever just kind of recognize? You ever seen Mean Girls? You ever seen Mean Girls? Okay, if you look at the tactics of the left, if you've ever had a toxic female in your life, which most guys, this is a really tough one because I'm playing with these loose ideas. I'm kind of just ranting on it. But like, here's the thing, man. Have you ever seen a toxic female and actually had one in your life, bro? You just take that playbook and abstract that to what the left does, and it's almost perfect match. A big part is reputational damage. This is what the left engages in, is just like this slow, covert, reputational fuckery. And you can see this when they are low-key inciting violence casually, right? They're not exactly telling you to go, to go kill someone, but they aren't exactly either like saying it's bad or you didn't deserve it. There's this like witchcraft fuckery happening. And that to me is a big part of what toxic femininity is. Like you have this entire political group that is basically feminine, that is practically immune to criticism, and you're leaving it up to us fucking apparently radical dudes and like the Andrew Tates, and you're gonna call us misogynist, you're gonna call us fucking every name in the book, red-pilled guys, to have to do this part of the process. You ever go to a modern church, man? Like a modern church? Try a mega church, bro. Okay, not to say there aren't good women. I've seen good women. I know good women. My beef is not with them. The problem is most women we're like this whole the bulk of the right, which is this like Christian types, square Christian types. They engage and talk about women as if they're these holy virgin women, and they're not. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna just point this out too. Look, man, if a woman has learned her lesson and truly turns her shit around, I mean, there's some room for that. There's some space for that. But like, I'm gonna just keep it a buck, man. Imagine being a good Christian boy. You held your chastity. You know what I mean? You're willing to save it for marriage. Bro, none of these women are virgins. 90% of them are not virgins. Modern woman, especially the college educated woman, please. Honestly, these are the worst types. These are the worst fucking types. These Karens out here who think they're better than most of these working class men because they don't have degrees. Jesus, please. I got a degree. Honestly, it was worthless. I learned so much more teaching myself, reading by myself, and working on the job. College is just for networking and possibly having that experience, which honestly I think it's overrated. Anyway, let me know what you think. The gender divide is just the political divide. Like they're the same thing to me. And at this point, women are part of the political machine and they've become the left for the most part. Deuces.